represent, that's legit. Ask your mom about it. Coldest story ever told. When the storm had hit my home, I was out there on the road, I ain't had nowhere to go. They used to turn their nose, and man, they done, I suppose this the life I chose. Every day, man, it's a show.
Hey. Good afternoon. Good evening. It is us again, back, Authentic Ears. I'm Kenya. I'm your host. We also have Jazz on here. We have Cam on here. How y'all doing today?
What's going on? What's
Hey,
good?
look, what y'all been up to? Y'all know we've been chit-chatting a little bit for a while, laughing about some stuff. Real quick, what y'all been up to this week? Well, last week since the first episode.
I haven't been doing anything. I've been relaxing, but I love the feedback from the first episode.
Okay.
It's good. I watched it over and over and over again because it was the first episode. So you know how you got to keep watching yourself. Other than that, I'm good.
Yes, most definitely. Hi, Nichelle. We see you, Uncle Junior Network. I loved your show, Uncle Junior, the other day about women. Most definitely. Just highlighting how women are. So yeah, I tuned in. Loved it. Cam, how was your week? What's up,
It was
Elma?
good. It was good. I had a good week. I went to Dallas this weekend with one of my frat brothers and one of my sorority sisters, and we went to this little brunch spot up in Dallas, and man, it was jumping up in there. But the problem was with me, man, you know, your boy a little lactose intolerant, right?
Oh my
So I go up in there, right, and I eat some shrimp and grits, and then I seen this macaroni and cheese that this chick had. I was like, man, that junk look like it's fire. And then I also had a piece of fish. So I go up in there, right, and I eat it all. I'm feeling good. About 30 minutes later, boy, them BGs kicked in, and ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
We gonna keep you off the phone with TMI. Cause we gonna keep you off the phone with Mr. TMI, owner, operator, Bowden driven EP, because we don't want to hear about your bubble guts. But
you asked me what was going on, so I just told you what was going
on in your stomach.
What's good, Kenya? What's going on?
I'm just here, y'all. I'm down here in Arkansas, man. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like, it is nothing to do out here. So, I'm trying to hang on in there. TMI. Hey, but check this out. Y'all, last week's episode was about cheating. So we really got deep into it about a lot of different, relationships and things like that. I went through the DMs. We had some people call us. We had some people message us, and they had some questions that they wanted to get answered. So we're going to go ahead on the first question. This question is going to be for Cam.
Oh Lord.
Cam, what's up? Now, because you talking all smart earlier, so we gonna go on to get to it. The question is from Ari. She said, since there's a cap on women's body count, what is acceptable for a woman?
Ooh. Well, I think each man, I think, has their own particular criteria. So if you asking me,
yes,
if you, just to be honest, man, if you busting about 20, you starting to get suspect. That's just real. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna give you them first, I'm gonna give you about them first 12 for your freak phase. You know what I'm saying? You trying to find yourself. But after about 20, man, you borderline, like, I don't know. That's just me.
That's why it ain't none of your business.
Exactly, because your feelings might get hurt.
That's why it ain't none of your business. If you with me now, that's all you got to worry about is the now. Don't be worried about the past. Focus on the now. Okay? I ain't sleeping with your friends. your family members, then you don't need to count. You don't need what you counting for. Just count me, number one. There you go.
It ain't what I did in the past. It's what I'm doing right now. So
Mhm.
is that 20 for a woman that is 20 years old, or the number 20
You
for a
didn't. You
woman
didn't give me
that
an age. You didn't give me an age. If you would have gave me an age, I probably would have gave you a more realistic number. But Jazz, don't try to run game on that saying focus like you after you done been ran through. Come on, girl. You want me to just, hey, how many times y'all said October 1st, the Coochie Miles reset? You ain't finna get 100,000, 400,000 miles on me and then think you're gonna settle down with me. Girl.
Okay, Arnell,
You know.
Arnell,
How would you know if a woman got 100,000 miles? If she going to get her tune up, she getting her oil change, she got her tires rotated, she in alignment. How would you know?
Well, I'm just saying when I feel them seals start leaking.
It is no such.
That's not true.
Seals leaking. Over this, me and Ari had a conversation with you about this, and I thought you understood it. But now we back here today on this fine Monday, and we're talking about the seals and the walls.
Well, you can't get. You ain't finna just like settle down with me when it's like rolling a hot dog down the hallway. Come on now.
So what woman have you been with though that is like throwing a hot dog down the hallway? That's the problem. That's the women you picking because there's something wrong with her internally. A woman's body is made to stretch and come back. So if it feel like that, that's your fault because you picked that woman.
Yes,
it might be something going on with her. Okay. And let's not get on throwing a hot dog down the hallway. Some of y'all ain't even got the hot dog to even throw.
Look.
I'm just saying
sometimes it just feel like a little tickle. Just tick tick tick, just a little tickle or whatever.
Can we change the subject, please?
Yeah. Okay. What age, if you were looking for a woman, what age bracket would you be looking for a woman in?
Man, nowadays, the way y'all rolling and stuff now. Well, I'm gonna put it like that. I'm gonna go and put it out there. I'm 46 years old. I ain't gonna lie, man. Your boy, I might be looking for me one about 33.
Okay, goodbye, Cam. Jasmine, we have a question for you because Cam done got out of control right here because she
33
got worms. The 33-year-old thinks you have worms, so it's okay. So we're gonna move on. Jasmine, we have a question. This question is coming from Heather West. Why do women take men back after we find out they're cheating?
It's multiple reasons. One, we feel like they can change.
Okay.
One, we feel we can't do certain things without the man. It's codependency.
Okay.
One, we just don't know better. Sometimes we just don't know. A lot of times I can say, I'll just use me. For me, I didn't know better. Codependency. Mm-hmm. And I thought he could change. So I'm going to just say all of those reasons. So that could be a reason why sometimes women stay. I know sometimes women stay for kids. Just different reasons. I say if it's not making you happy, if y'all try everything up under the sun, I would never tell anybody to leave their spouse. But if you're not getting to, because your happiness is your own control. Yeah. So if it's just not getting nowhere for you, then you kind of got to cut it off.
Yeah. So Heather asked that question on the actual up under the comments. So I actually responded, and I think it's for me. I think I will hire something because I really know them don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think I was going through a little bit of slight depression or something like that, to even, because I think the biggest thing is because he said he won't sleep with nobody, but I think emotional cheating is like one of the worst things. That means you pillow talking, y'all laid up, you rubbing on her forehead with your pinky. You ain't rub on my forehead with your pinky. So what you doing over there rubbing on her forehead with your pinky? Hey, y'all, I want to go to a comment that Joseph asked. He said, Jazz and Kenya. Socrates, we know that's you. What is the body count? What's the number for men? I don't ask.
Me either.
Cause I'm saying, like, I'd be like, so was you over there rubbing on her knee like you rubbing on my knee? I be done drove myself crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna really, I'm not gonna ask. Like, I don't want to know because, yeah, I promise you I'm not psycho, but I might be just a little bit. Cause
Mm.
I feel like once we together and I love you and we in a relationship, I feel like if we're vibing together and all that, I feel like you was cheating on me like years ago with all them girls, cause so you should have stayed a virgin and just waited on me because you knew I was coming. So ain't no need for me to go to asking
Yeah.
what your number is and what your body count is. And men are gonna lie when you do ask
For
them.
sure.
They're gonna lie. They're gonna
For
say
sure.
it's 40 when they only really slept with 4 women because don't nobody want them. Or they just want to boost their numbers up to make it seem like they the man. What
Can,
can?
hey, can I interject?
Yes,
Because
you
you
can,
know, every
Cam.
time y'all give us a number, we got to times it times three.
But when y'all give numbers, y'all give false numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to times yours times three, yours accurate? Girl,
But
boo.
but women most likely are not going to give you a number. They're not going to give you an accurate number.
Yeah, because this
No one's gonna give an accurate
accurate number gonna reflect that mileage, and that's why you're not gonna do it.
No one's gonna give an accurate number,
At
man
all.
or woman, because anyway, it really ain't your business. If you feeling this person, focus on that.
Focus,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know what, man? Uncle Junior just put a comment up there. He said body count is a low conversation. So I want to
It is. It's low vibrational.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely because yeah, I just don't talk about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Me
It's
either.
what you're doing now. Long as we went over there to that doctor's office and our stuff is legit. That's all I'm really worried about because it's just really bad. So Cam,
Yeah.
I heard you had something to say to me.
I got a question for you.
No, because before we got on, you told me you got something to say.
So I got a question for you.
No.
And I
Hold
want
on,
you to
hold on.
look.
Can I
So are
clear
you
my
listening?
mind? Hold on, no. Hold on. What's up, Cam?
So when you was out there, right?
I went out there.
When you was out there with the men, were you being
Out there
supportive? When you was out there with the men, were you being supportive? Was you enabling a girl? Was you just straight tricking?
for one, for one, for one, I went
Hey,
out
Ari.
there. Hey, look, for one, I wasn't out there. So we're gonna go on to get to the topic of today's show, blurred lines.
Mm.
For one, I wasn't out there. And I normally been in long-term relationships. When those were over, I kind of like probably dipped and dabbed and in between. But I most definitely been in long-term relationships, 5 years, 10 years. But I think in the other one I don't count because I was delusional, y'all. I'm telling
Yes, it is, Emma.
cricket is a
Yes,
skill
it
set.
is. Cricket is a skill.
Really, Emma.
Is she
It
right?
is. So I will say, I was being supportive, because when I'm with that person, I want to see them do their best. So I'm gonna support you in your dreams, your admirations. I'm gonna support whatever you. Cam is rolling his eyes. Look, I'm gonna support. What you rolling your eyes for, Cam?
Because he ain't had no support in his relationships.
Is that what it is?
It happens. Maybe he was the trick. So
Yeah.
why would she support?
Can you keep talking, Jazz? Ain't nobody fooling with you.
Look. But anyway, look, I was waiting for Cam for a comeback today, but he ain't had one. He went, be quick on your feet. You know what we learned. You know what I'm saying? We learned this in the military. You need to be quick on your feet. You need to be able to respond to this stuff that Jasmine is throwing out here to you. So I was being supportive. Then one relationship, I really was an enabler.
Mm.
Uh,
Can we go? Can we? Not to interrupt you, can you? But we got a question from Miss Arica Price.
It's an
actually,
awesome question.
yes. I was married for 5 years, and I was married for 10 years. So, no, I didn't feel like it was a waste of my time. I felt like my first marriage, I feel like we was young, you know what I'm saying? And had we been more mature and more able to deal with small issues, we wouldn't have just threw up our hands and said, "Oh, we're done," over small things that could have been resolved. And not being mature enough and not understanding the value of being in a relationship, making sacrifices, being supportive, not being enabling, but still supporting that person. We probably possibly could have made it work, but that's water under the bridge. And then I was married for 10 years, and it was honestly, I don't even know how to explain it. um, I don't it was draining. Like we didn't it wasn't no infidelity, it wasn't anything like that. But when one person or both people, especially being in the military, so I'll just start there. Being in the military and you're deployed and you're gone for 14 months, you're gone for 15 months. This person is gone 1 year, that person is gone the next year. Then you have all these field exercises. You never really get that time to bond and connect with each other because the military will take a lot from you. So you have to make a sacrifice somewhere. So am I going to sacrifice my family, or am I going to sacrifice my job that is supporting my family? So I'll say that on the first part. But for me, everybody plays a role in the relationship. I think that he did not want to be married. And not necessarily to me, I think he just did not want to be married, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he thought it was going to be a certain way, and then it wasn't. And then instead of us saying, "Hey, this not working," we stuck it out, stringed each other along, and until it was just like, no, this relationship is not gonna work. And just like I was sick of his shit, he probably was sick of my shit. Cause when we got divorced, we ain't even talking. It wasn't no arguing. It wasn't no calling each other back saying we wish we could make it. So most definitely, it just, I guess that wasn't the person, for me. And I would say more of blurred lines. I was more of an enabler. I know that you're depressed, so but I'm enabling you. Oh, let's do this. Let me help you with this. Just all this petty betty shit that we do as women. And then you're doing it, but I wasn't really doing it out of love. I'm not gonna say you just doing it because it's like, oh Lord, what we going through today, and study being more supportive. I was enabling the bullshit until I got tired of it, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm out of here." And it was just really, he was a depressed person. It was very draining. So yeah, so most definitely. So that was the answer to that question. I think that was Ari that asked.
That was a good question.
Yes, it was. Yes, most definitely it was. So
So
yeah,
Jazz.
So y'all was just sick of each other.
Socrates,
But when you're married, is the time really wasted though? Is it time wasted, or is it a lesson learned if you get that divorce?
I don't think it was time wasted. I think people waste time going from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, and you never able to build that foundation for yourself to know what I'm going to accept and what I'm not going to accept. Because if I'm dipping and dabbing with this man, that man, this man over here, that man, I'm just out there, just doing whatever. So I don't think my time was wasted. I do think that I could have did things better. I think that it was things that I could have did better within the relationship as a wife to ease some of whatever was going on. But at the end of the day, some people not gonna change. Let's just be real. That's just who they are. And what we do in relationships is we get in these relationships. I'm gonna just speak for myself because a lot of people gonna say, that ain't what I do. So we'll just speak for I just speak for myself. Get in a relationship, and then I know you this way, but then over the years, I'm trying to change you to be this way. No, I should have recognized those signs and not try to make you be somebody that you are not. So
Yeah.
when you grow together, we should be growing healthy. You know what I'm saying? The relationship should be healthy, not just we just growing because we have this house, we have this car, we're financially stable. So for me, I feel like made I don't even think I made a poor choice or anything like that, because it's a lot of things that I know that I will not accept. Anything like Leisha, she's saying red flags, not to ignore, because when it was a red flag at the beginning, I should have just cut it out. But we had see the potential, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah. I agree. Sienna said you only waste your time if you refuse to learn from mistakes or aren't willing to grow. And I
Mhm.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely agree with that. You
Good
know, no
comments,
one
yeah.
marries to divorce. I
So
don't know nobody who did. So when you marry, you're expecting to live your life with this person, to grow with this person. And sometimes
yeah,
it just don't come into alignment like that.
yeah,
Um, I don't even think it was a mistake. You know, I don't want to use like the word mistake, but sometimes, you know, you just make choices that at the moment you think are good, you know, and they're not. Because I believe in choices and mistakes. A mistake is something, you know, I probably won't do it again. A choice is something that you might do it a couple times. So
yeah,
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, because you know, like in the movie when Denzel said, you know, when you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. You know what I'm
yeah,
mhm.
saying?
yeah, most
And it's just
definitely.
it's about how you, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, and then you
yeah.
have those blurred lines, and Uncle Junior just said something about you don't have them conversations, um and sometimes you have those conversations and people representatives are present, and we're supposed to be going this way, but then we end up going that way, or one person goes that way. Things change as you're in a relationship for 10, 15 years. Things change, but it should be a positive changes, not regression, not this was what we discussed and what we said that we were going to do as being united as one person. You know what I'm saying? You have those conversations, and then I say people representatives be present. That's why I'm like taking like a big step back. Any red flags, I'm out of there, because people change. And I could say that because I have been married multiple times. And my second marriage, when we were dating for 2 years, we did not live with each other, you know, totally different person from
Mm,
when we got married and we moved in with each other. And then at that point, that should have, I think that he just wasn't prepared for what all comes in a marriage and being in a actual relationship. And that's when Uncle Junior, we should have went back and had another conversation. Hey, is this something that you really want? It's not a mistake. And sometimes we do things that we think is right at the time.
mm,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I will say this about the military. The military force people to either get married or separate. And I'm saying that because you meet somebody, y'all are stationed at Fort Hood. Yeah, that's my stomping ground. You know what I'm saying? You stationed at
Oh
Fort Hood.
Lord.
Now it's time for him to go to Fort Lewis, Washington, and you're supposed to go to Germany. Y'all might have been dating a year and a half, 2 years. So a lot of times we make these irrational decisions because of the distance, that,
mm,
oh, let's just go ahead on and get married. Because the army doesn't, they don't care. Versus if I'm a civilian and I live here in Arkansas and I meet somebody, I can go out on multiple dates with him. You know what I'm saying? I could do whatever I need to do with him. I could get to know him. I could visit his family. We can have dinner together. But the military, in my opinion, Cam, chime in on this. I think it kind of force you, because if I think I like Cam and Cam is going to Fort Campbell and I'm going to Fort Lewis, they be like, let's just go on and get married and get in the MACP program. That's the Married Army Couple program for those who don't know. And so we could go together. You know what I'm saying? And it's not blaming the military. I'm pretty sure that I said, Uncle Junior, is that it forces you, when you think that that person is for you. You know what I'm saying? And the military disrupts families. The military has one of the highest divorce rates there is. The military does not care about the service member or their family. And tell me somebody who could say otherwise, because they'll send you way off and your kids are in school the last year. They'll send you way, and they don't care. They don't care that me and my husband been apart from each other for 2 years in a row. So how are you supposed to actually build when I ain't seen you in 24 months?
Well, they already have a trump card on us because of that, because it's a voluntary force. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they can always go default back to that, meaning that you volunteered for this, and things of that nature. So.
Yeah, but they also speak about we're all for family, we're all for this, and that is not true. They are not for family. They is. I did 20 years. They're not for family. And it plays a big part in your decision making when you go into those relationships. Now, as you get older, you know what I'm saying, you learn that those are different things that you shouldn't do, in different steps that you can make. And hey, we could do a long distance relationship or whatever the case may be. But you most definitely, the military plays a big part, because a lot of people, when your wives and husbands was over there cheating, why? Because you was in Iraq or you was in Afghanistan. You're gone away from them for however long it may be. So it is what it is. The military plays a big part in the breakdown of relationships, families, the sanction of marriage, and everything. Because at the end of the day, when wives have problems, I done seen all male units where the first sergeant don't even give a damn about the wife when she come up there complaining. So,
well, I got another question for you, because when I ask you a question, you talked a lot about being supportive, enabling. But when I ain't here, tell me about when you was tricking.
Look.
Women trick.
No, hold on, do they? We make
I think it might be a love language for some people, though. Some people might call it tricking, but some people might say it's a love language.
But you tell me what is tricking.
Well, it depends on if you got it or not.
No, no. You
know what ain't tricking if you got it.
You tell me what is tricking.
Oh, my definition of tricking?
Hey, you the only cam on here.
Girl, don't do me.
Yeah.
But okay. So my definition of tricking is like when you going out, you just it's more of trying to like kind of show off or trying to get a female to like. I ain't never been no trick, so it's kind of hard for me to explain this. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. But what is a trick? Is somebody
that buys you.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Buys your love.
I ain't never had to do that, so that's why it's hard for me to talk.
So do we all trick? Because at one point in time, we've all kind of.
Well, you know what? If you've done it, go ahead and elaborate.
No, I'm not a trick. I'm looking for tricks. Is any tricks online? Looking for?
Hey, look, blurred lines, because we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're being supportive. You don't know if you're being enabling. You don't know if you're.
I think you know. I think you know if you being an enabler.
What?
Some people don't know.
Well, let me tell you this. Well, let me be that crackhead and I steal your VCR and I cold stole your kid's TV and I pawn it at the pawn shop and go in your purse and you wonder where that $60 at. But then you still defending me and coming up for reasons and and still giving me.
You might be my son and I don't view you in that light. I don't see you that way. I see you as my child. So some people don't know they're enabling. They know you as I'm your mother.
I ain't talking about your child. I'm talking about I'm your.
You talking about relationships?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking. Of course, you ain't tricking for your kid. I'm talking about if I'm your man.
It's buying a person. So
the girl that dating the crackhead.
Kind of buying stuff for your child. Wouldn't it be kind of like you're tricking? Because tricking is buying a person.
Yeah.
That it's certain. It's something like an ass kisser. You could be buying your boss donuts. You could be doing this, doing that, just trying to get on. Is that a form of tricking? So the thing is, how do you break down tricking? What is tricking? Because we've all kind of been in that point where we're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna buy him some shoes because I'm thinking about him. You know, I'm gonna buy her this because I'm thinking about it. But if it's one sided, it's a possibility that I might just be a trick. If that energy isn't reciprocated, I might just be a trick.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. You know, you could be tricking. You know, you sitting at home ain't getting no meals, but you paying all the bills and doing this. You know, it's a task for her to even roll over and have sex with you, but she got on the latest and the greatest, and you bought it. You're a trick.
I think both forced relationships and friendships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do have, and it's not just about relationships. So this blurred lines is about friendships, family, and stuff as well. Because some people do try to buy their kids love. Some people do enable that child or that boyfriend that is strung out on these drugs, and they making all these multiple excuses. So to me, tricking is buying somebody love, Cam, because you know you went all the way around what tricking was to you. It's doing excessive stuff to get that person to stay with you. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? You're doing and she's not appreciative, or he's not appreciative of the stuff that you're doing to get them to stay with you. You're not just doing it. I thought about her today, so I'm gonna get her some flowers. Or I thought about her and I'm gonna take her out to eat. You're constantly buying stuff to keep her around.
No.
Okay.
Someone said if someone is calling you only to get you to pay for something, then you're a trick, especially if you aren't getting anything in return. And that's what I think a trick is too. It's reciprocated. Only time you hear from me if I need something. Yeah. You know, and then Erica said some men make themselves trick. Yeah, because that's all they might have to offer.
Look, because they have no valuable conversation.
No personality.
They have no personality, you know.
All right, well, let's change the narrative. And let's talk about the women that have no valuable conversation.
Okay.
Ratchet.
Okay.
No conversation, you know. Just like y'all said, we're not finna make this like male orient. You see what I'm saying?
No, of course not.
So we finna talk about these chicken heads too.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
But damn, females be tricking too. And it is essentially the same thing, you know, where you're doing all this extra stuff for him to get, he ain't even asking for it. You buying him shoes, you buying him this, and he's not even asking for it, but you're doing it to get his love and his attention. And that don't necessarily mean that he just happy to get the gifts and stuff. Elma, fair exchange ain't no robbery. What exactly is fair exchange? I want you to drop that in the comments with that. You know, what exactly is fair exchange? Is it, this kind of sound like some prostitution though. You know, look, because what are we getting out of it? So I think women unintentionally trick, because we be thinking that we be being supported. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, that's not a place. So what about when you spend it and he at home with his wife though?
Look, I ain't never did that.
Look, I ain't gonna buy you nothing, and you over there with Thin Bob. And like, I ain't finna buy you nothing when you over there with Thin Bob.
I don't pay for a couple lunches, bought some cologne. You know.
Hey, so you know y'all out there buying PS5s. Come on now.
You know, I wish I would.
Oh,
my son barely got a PS5. Look, and I just feel like, and he had to work for. He's 16. I don't even like buying him nothing now.
Because you don't want him out there in the streets. So you know, if I'm gonna sit here and buy him his PS5, all I gotta worry about him doing is eating up little Johnny Graham crackers for snacks.
For one, I ain't no dude to sit up and play video games all day long anyway. I don't even watch reality TV. So I'm damn sure not finna sit up while you play PS5 like my son.
But some women definitely do trick. The women that be getting dropped off at work, can't even go nowhere on lunch because the man got the car. You want Jason Daly, but he down the road in your car. But you doing all this because you want to keep tabs on your man. You know, you want to know where he at. You know, the women that don't mind moving him in, and I'm gonna pay the bills because he just down bad. That's a part of enabling and tricking. So
Hey,
soon
as he get in your car, he turning his location services off, right?
Look, he ain't driving my car though.
Ain't no man driving my car unless you taking it to get the oil change or some gas or something like that.
This Kenya right here. I'm tired of you cheating on me, Joe.
Look, you think that's what I'm gonna be saying?
Hey, what you say? What you say?
Look, I don't know. I don't participate. So ain't no man driving my car, but women definitely do trick. I've seen it. I can say I probably tiptoed in the trick bag, bought some lunches and some cologne. But see, I even celebrated a man's birthday.
But Gemma, I don't consider that tricking.
I said tiptoe. I ain't fully get there.
Look, but I think it's okay to take a guy out to eat sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay to, to treat him sometimes. A lot of men don't even like for women to treat them, and then, later on in a relationship, that's another topic. They'll go to times all this stuff I done did. Now I done offered to pay for this Red Lobster dinner, and you said you had it. I didn't know you didn't have it, so I don't think that that's okay, Jody, my Jody. Look, I don't think y'all is crazy on this thing. But she was tricking on that movie, though.
Yeah, she was. She was down bad.
And that's me to come. That's me to come in when you got your little son in there. What's up, scrub?
Look, but
she was enabling him. His mama too.
Yeah. See, these mama boys be the ones that be out of control. Right there. These mama boys, they mama don't like. I don't know. I want to date a guy that respects his mother, that is supportive of his mother. But I don't need your mama all over there up in our business, creating these blurred lines. You know what I'm saying? She ain't good enough for you. She ain't good. Like why? That's not your husband. You know what I'm saying? That's not your mate. So I feel like
he has to keep it. He has to stay in good standing with his mom. So when you start acting ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And then and then the marriage go, because y'all true colors come out, boy, when it's time to get that freaking divorce. Y'all forget every good. Y'all forget every good thing the man done. But boy, that memory for all them bad things is like an external hard drive, and y'all got to save.
Well, tell us what you went through. Tell us what you have
enough time left on this podcast.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm glad you said that, Cam, because when women get a divorce or leave a relationship, we go and get us a apartment. We got to pack up the kids, and we still got to decide.
With who money?
With ours, because I've always worked. I've been working forever, so with my money, and I'm gonna get down on you. And
well, let's not talk about you. Let's talk majority. Majority time, what happens?
The women that I know that I hang out with got their own shit, and I can name them. I can run their names down. I ain't hanging with no women that ain't about nothing, that ain't trying to do nothing. Bottom line, do I know some women that?
We know a lot of women.
Do I know some women? But
how often do men go after chicks' money in the divorces? How often, in reference to women going after me?
You just don't want me to get you don't want me to get to the point of when y'all get out of relationship, y'all either move back in with your mama, you get a roommate, or you move in with another woman. You go from relationship to relationship. Most women will pack up.
We go to relationship to relationship. Y'all go to ding-a-ling to ding-a-ling to ding-a-ling.
What? It's the same thing, Cam.
What?
Cam, it's the same thing.
I'm gonna be like the comments. Who hurt Cam? If you hurt Cam, let us know because we need a session.
Can you drop it? You could drop it, go up to the top, edit your name, right? And just put anonymous so we won't know it's you.
Yeah, so we'll know.
I know who all that is, Chandra in 20 Texas.
Most women don't have time after divorces to go ding-a-ling to ding-a-ling because they got to take care of the kids. They got to jump back into work. They don't have time.
They was already getting it during the marriage.
That's yours.
Nadeja, that's what she's saying. Like we can't move. When we have kids, we can't even get back in the relationship because we got to worry about who we bringing in our house. We got to make sure he's right for one, because you don't want, especially if you don't want men running in and out. Because my son might be like, Mama, I think you like one of these video girls. If he keep on seeing a whole bunch of different men running in and out the house. But men, y'all can move on.
No, because y'all just text them when they sleep.
But we don't expose our children to
and throw that pillow behind the headboard.
That's because you've been there.
Yeah.
That's because you've been there before. And we ain't gonna judge nobody. And if she is throwing the pillow behind the headboard, mama got to take care of the kids. She got to jump into work. She got to deal with the mental defeat of this divorce. If she want to stuff the pillow behind the headboard for a little bit.
Check this out. I ain't heard y'all say not one thing that the men go through. Woe is me.
Men aren't vocal.
Okay, you tell us what y'all go through. Because I ain't no man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. First of all, there's a lot of us that want to be in our kids' life. We don't want to be separated from our child. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'll give it to y'all this as women. We can never compare to y'all's love. Like me, I got my son is right down the street. I will die for him right now to this day. But I can never compare. I didn't carry him for 9 months. I can never compare to that bond that he would have in his mom. And also, I know how I felt about my mom. You know, my mom raised 3 boys on her own. But the thing about it is we still don't get that respect, as it's a lot of us men out there. We don't want to be separated from our child. We want to go out there and then, you go out there, you're dealing with the child support system. And I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of men out there not doing what they supposed to do. But it's a lot of us out there that is doing the right thing. And when you look at that child support system, they don't want it to ever stop because they're getting a cut off every payment. So the states and individual states are benefited from it. And that's what I want a lot of the women to understand. Like, you do got guys, and they should be held accountable if they are not taking care of them kids. But don't just drag us through the mud just because you in your feelings about we ain't together no more. And it didn't work. If that dude is being a good man, I respect y'all women. I know what y'all go through with I remember taking my son to daycare one day. I see this girl in PTs. She got a car seat, ain't 100 pounds, a car seat, and a 3-year-old. And I'm like, God dang, boy, I could never. So I understand that. But y'all have to understand, men go through this exact equal things. They hurt, they miss their sons, they miss their daughters. They want to be involved. And I know I'm just picking out individual incidents, but like the one female, the dude went out there, got his daughter's hair done, and she cut the braids out. The daughter sitting there, it's a lot of stuff. See, both genders do things wrong. I agree. So there just needs to be accountability on both sides. But it's a lot of us men out there. I give it, and he's on this chat right now. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna send out a shot to him. My little brother on here, George Jackson. I give this young man so much props because he was like a father figure. He just was like born to be one. Like me, I didn't have my own child till I was 34 years old. And man, I was sitting there, come back from Korea. I was like, man, I gotta keep this baby all weekend. I ain't know what to do. And then he in there crying and hooping. And I'm like, what you crying for? And I'm like, dang, I ain't fed this mug in 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't get it. I didn't know, But my little brother and my older brother, they're like naturals. So it's a lot of good brothers out here. My homeboy Arnell Span that's on here. My boy Uncle Junior. I'm finna shout these black men out because they are amazing men. And just like us as black women, y'all want us to acknowledge y'all and the struggle that y'all go through. Y'all have to indeed give us the same criteria. We need, as genders, we need to stop going back and forth trying to one-up one another and just realize that there needs to be case-by-case individual accountability.
But it is, I feel like it is case by case, Cam. But for a lot of the men, they disappear. Somebody just put a comment up there saying when they think the women is wrong, the men disappear out their kids' life. And what I have seen from some men, and I don't even talk to them after that. She won't let me see my kids. Take her ass to court then. You know what I'm saying? Take her to court just like she
But will
will
you agree that courts are biased sometimes towards women? Women have to really be proven to be unfit and things of that nature. Before, well, I ain't gonna say that for joint custody, but I'm just saying a lot of times these courts they really favor the women.
I agree with that.
Favor the women, yes, they do, and maybe that's why the men don't go to court to pursue.
Especially when you got the ones that are not financially able, they ain't really even got the money to go in there and fight that potentially losing battle.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I just think that a lot of men are leaving their child's life and then they resurface later on, and some women are utilizing the kids to get back at their ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, or whoever he may be to them. So I think there is a big disparity when it comes to men and women and the relationships and the lines that are set for whichever gender that you are. I will say, however, that in my experience, when we pick a relationship and pick the person that we want to have children with, we have to be aligned with them. And that's what I teach my kids, right now. Don't just go out here having kids with willy-nilly anybody. And if we
Hammer
look at
made a
other
good point right there too in the comments, not to over talk you.
Go ahead.
But men automatically thumb they are going to lose. So they give up ahead of time, knowing whatever their side, because a lot of us just go in mentally defeated, like off the rip.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to cut you off though, Kenya, but that was just really important.
But see, that's something that you don't always, the men are defeated, and that's gonna go. Y'all, as always, let me go on and say this. Continue to watch Authentic Ears, you guys. We got some great topics. Cam done jumped all the way to his man talk topic, but we're most definitely gonna be, talking about all this, because at the end of the day, and I'll go back to what I was saying. At the end of the day, this podcast is real, raw, and relevant. And we're going to talk about some real stuff, because men do have challenges. I have seen women that keep their kids away from the man. And yes, the man is totally feels totally defeated. But what do we do, especially as a society? And I'm gonna say, especially as a black society.
Come on, niece.
Yeah.
She said,
why they be doing me like that?
We love Cam. That's why Cam on here to snap us. Hey, look, to bring us all, make us all aware, because it is some good men out here.
There's a lot of good men.
And I think us that are looking for good people, we just been so hurt in the past that sometimes we sabotage, you know what I'm saying, good relationships. We sabotage people because this red flag shit that's popping all up. Oh, red flag. He may have just had a bad day and he didn't text you right back. But we get conditioned to think that this is the way this person is. So until we actually love ourselves and heal from that, ain't nobody gonna ever find nobody that is gonna meet all of their needs. You have to meet your own needs. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Kenya, because I feel, and I'm a strong believer of is to first have peace. That we have to make peace with ourselves. And when you look at it in life, in actuality, the only peace you have is the peace you make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to be at peace first, and then the only peace there is the peace you make, because you can't depend on anybody else for your peace.
Yeah. And if you're not happy with yourself, it don't matter who or what you're looking for. You're gonna find some trash.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if And y'all tune in most definitely next week. We got a hot topic, self-love. You know, it's gonna be really dynamic. We got a special guest coming on here, Shan. So you know, make sure you tune in because the build up to that topic next week is based off these previous topics, cheat and blurred lines. You know, how do we break down what we have been accustomed to, what some of us has been accustomed to? Because I think some of y'all, I think y'all just since y'all in y'all self-healing journey, you think you know everything, but I'm gonna leave that at that. You know what I'm saying? The people that the woke sleep folks, you know what I'm saying, so think they know everything. But you know, but we're most definitely gonna talk about how do we get past the cheating, you know what I'm saying? How do we get past the blurred lines, you know what I'm saying, of being an enabler? And what does supporting actually, kind of look like for us? So Cam, most definitely you jumped all in there, you know, prepping the guys for the battlefield.
That's what I do. I always jump all the way in there.
Oh my God.
See, at first I was taking
here. You just went up. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so so most definitely, but you asked a question. I don't forget what the question was. It don't matter.
We're talking about self-love and the people.
Look, we don't went out. Look, you ready for self-love though, ain't you?
I'm ready for self-love because it's important. I think a lot of people would be like, well, I'm healing, but it's a continuous journey. A lot of people don't understand that that's a journey. If you're on this earth and you're living life, you're still on a healing journey.
Yeah.
Because life is going to give you different experiences that you might have to heal from. And you might have to go back a couple steps to revisit some things.
Yeah.
To get to that point of healing. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand their triggers. It's a lot that goes into it. So I'm definitely looking forward to next week. That's my favorite topic, y'all. I'm gonna be running my mouth because I am a self-love queen.
Look. And when you dealing with self-love, we gotta always realize what works for Cam may not work for me.
Yeah.
What works for Jasmine may not work for me. So a lot of people have you should do this. This is what I did. This is what I looked at when I went to find me a man. This is what I looked at when I went to find me a woman. That's not necessarily everybody's journey. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm hurt from childhood trauma, you know what I'm saying? I got to visit that before I can even go and look at what I think I want in somebody. Because everybody don't want the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to assume everybody wants the same thing. Everybody don't want the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We want different things. We want to discover different things. And it's your path and the journey that you are going through, in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Can we just also just stop for a second and just give, our audience, a big special shout out, man. They have been so interactive in the comments and stuff today. So, can you just send a shout out to our audience?
You give them a shout out, but I need them to send Cam some hugs because we need to feel the love in here for Cam. Because see, if y'all notice Cam, y'all know when Cam get hyped up, he be like, yeah, y'all.
Yeah, he leans up. He's finna tell us about ourselves. If Cam leans up, he finna tell us about ourselves.
Get us told. You know what I'm saying? And Joyce, I've been visiting somebody with a license for a while. I'm still working. Look, I'm still working on myself. But some people some men just ain't got a chance. These chauvinist males ain't got a chance in here. They think they woke, but they really sleep. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot to say about a lot of stuff. But when you start peeling that onion back, your eyes gonna start burning. You know what I'm saying? When you start, because if I feel like I'm healed, then now I got a whole bunch of fucking advice to tell somebody else. So social media energy.
Healing comes with accountability. I think that's where we all.
I think that's the starting point from it.
Yeah, healing comes with accountability, and a lot of times people be healing, but they don't address the roles that they played in situations.
Yeah.
So it's a slow process for them. It's always going to be a process, but it's a slower process.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you too,
I'm glad y'all love Cam because we love Cam too because he is.
Your eyes will burn and they be must, girl.
Peeling them onions back. And they be
Hey,
having a whole lot
somebody
to say.
earlier.
Hey, but what about them girls to be? And this is a little sidebar. She talked about them to be must. What about them girls to be must?
Look,
What
look,
about them?
Hey,
look.
you
I'm,
know,
I'm finna tell you right.
having that cottage cheese. No, no, I, you know,
Look,
I ain't finna get.
I'm finna tell you. Look, that
Never
goes.
mind.
That goes with self love and stuff too. I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
right now because a lot you can't even take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. So I know when I was a young leader, you say stuff like, oh my goodness, I can't believe she came up in here with her uniform like that. I can't believe that. But as you grow and you start actually developing leadership skills, then you start to learn that, dang, I wonder what she's going through. That she in her brain thought, I'm gonna go out
Yeah,
there.
I got one last question for you. All right, how many times when you was going through your bad times, when you was not so full of yourself that your lace front was stinking?
Uh,
The lace front shouldn't stink.
hold on, Jan. Do I need to answer that? For one, I don't wear lace fronts.
I wear up
And
and they shouldn't
anybody
stink.
that know me know I really don't wear weave. Shout out to my girl Renda up in Fort Hood, Texas. I'm this close to coming down there with my haircut because she the only one that could really do my hair and slay it. So my lace front ain't never been. It ain't never been musty. I'm gonna be smelling this one, since I went and got a sew in. Y'all done my
Kim, what
sister.
kind of women do you be talking to?
Look,
Did
my
they lace front be mustard? We talked about cottage cheese. What is going on?
No, I'm just saying, man.
Okay.
I smelled a couple stinking wigs in my time, like
So
some
what you do with
monkey.
the wig? Did you know they got
Did you
that?
tell it?
Still smelling like the hookah lounge and stuff.
The hookah lounge don't really smell. She must been at the cigar lounge.
Oh,
You
that's what I meant.
yeah.
Cigar lounge. And then you get that hug, and you think you finna hit that neck, and you be like,
Okay, so what did you do? What you do after that when you did that?
Did you still sleep with her?
I don't sleep with nobody. Come on now,
Well, no,
Cameron.
no.
I'm talking about prior. We're not talking about in the present. We talking about prior.
We
What?
talking
Come
about
on now.
before you became a woke person. If her weave smelled musty,
Because I done seen some men sleep with some booger rats.
Well, I ain't gonna
what
say
the hell is
nothing.
a booger rat, Jazz?
I don't know, but it ain't right. So we just want to know.
Well, you talk about that. So let's talk. What we gonna talk about them females that done slept with some the suspect.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna
Oh
go tit for
man,
tat, man and woman. We all got some people that we just
y'all know what? We almost out of time.
And we appreciate it, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. But that
We are
self-love
almost
series this week is really gonna be a good series, for all of us. And I think that we'll all be able to take something from that self-love series.
Yes, Jazz. What you got to say, honey?
just tune in next week. My favorite subject, self-love. We definitely gonna be talking about accountability because we all can take a class for that one.
Yes.
So
And
definitely tune in next week.
yes, and most definitely, y'all. As always, it is great to have y'all here. Dropping the comments down. I don't know this group who's coming, man. Like, got a lot of valuable information. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that. I hope I don't have to go back and eat my words on this, but you can most definitely tell that the men that are coming in are men. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They not talking about no ratchets. You know what I'm saying? And then women, I hope we are also, because we be tearing these dudes up. We be giving them business. We be
Hey, I
giving them
appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate
and we
y'all.
most definitely, when these men are dropping these comments down, I hope y'all know I was looking down a lot because I'm trying to read a lot of them because it makes you really think of we're saying what we want, and we also need to take heed of what men are saying that they want from us.
Yeah.
So as always, it's here. We here. Authentic ears. Tune in next week. We got self love. We got a special guest Chan coming on. We will be dropping her link, her bio, her photo. Make sure y'all are tuning in because this girl got a great story for a lot of us, especially us women. And then keep on tuning in because we got some real stuff coming up for the men that's gonna be spearheaded by Cam. He gonna get us all the way right, you guys, so we could, hey, look, I'm looking for a good man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I ain't trying to do no tricking, and I ain't trying to do no enabling.
I'm his pappy.
But if you are a trick, hit me up on my Instagram. Now, just
look,
all right, y'all, man. It's been real.
I'm taking application for the 50-50. Hey, anytime. But thank you guys for tuning in. We here, we out. Love y'all.
Bye.
Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been by the days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been by the days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been by the days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been by the days since I was legit. Represent, that's legit. Ask your mom about it. Coldest story ever told. When the storm had hit my home, I was out there on the road. I ain't had nowhere to go. They used to turn their nose, and man, they